Hello, everyone. Welcome to Keith and Glory.
We're Not Sorry, your new favorite podcast where two lifelong best friends bring you lighthearted banter on all things pop culture, fashion, music, and everything in between. With 30 years of friendship under our belts, we're diving into hot topics, real-life stories, and playful debates. And we want to bring you along for the ride. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Keith and Glory.
We're not sorry. Welcome back.
Good one. How was your week, Lori?
It was good. We had a really nice long weekend, 4th of July. We did a little backyard pool party with the fam and friends. It was good. This week's already started off to be busy during my day job, but yeah, it's been good. How about you? You were in a different location.
Been good. Started summer vacation. Yesterday I drove 20 hours across Canada to come to Thunder Bay, Ontario. And tomorrow I'm heading out to the lake. So we've got one day here quick and I just
Lake
can't
life.
wait.
I love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be in the summer.
Except are the mosquitoes as bad in other parts of the world as they are in Northern Ontario?
I don't think, isn't it black flies? Like here, they're bad in certain, like if you're down in the woods, but like I was just saying to Eric tonight, we are so lucky in my backyard. We don't have a huge mosquito
Yeah, we
problem.
don't have a ton in Alberta, but out at the cabin, or they call it camp in Thunder Bay, it's in the middle of the bush, but it's just crazy, the bugs.
Yeah,
And I know we did talk last at a previous episode when we brought Eric out for lunch and there was the wasp infestation at Earl's, and he was embarrassed about all our screaming. Well, I think I might have another infestation, Lori.
Oh no, what?
So
Some type of bug.
I hate bugs, and
I do too.
one that I hate, like I'm scared of them all, but I'll just say I hate them. I tell everybody I'm allergic to them. Actually, one time I was actually with my class outside, and whenever it's summer, I let me go work. Not summer. Whenever it's the spring, I'm like, let's work on my tan during reading class here. Let's go outside and read. So we went outside. We were reading. This was probably 10, 15 years ago. And I guess a kid had rolled up a black thread and threw it on my book that I was reading. But as the black thread landed on my book,
It's like a spider.
Of course, I thought it was a bug. So wow, and I threw my book right at his face, right at the kid. I was
You are over dramatic with bugs. I'll never forget being at my cabin and the spruce bugs were flying, and I think it sounded probably like someone was getting murdered in my front yard.
See, spruce bugs are my all-time fear. I see them, I freeze. I don't think anywhere else gets them besides Northern Ontario.
I don't know if you know what they are. For those in the South, they're like the cockroaches that we get down here, but they bite.
But and they fly and they're blind and they go
got antennas.
Big antennas. Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway, but thank God my infestation. But before I came to Thunder Bay, I did find moths in my house, as I was telling you before. Mm-hmm. And I'm so I came home and it was probably 9 o'clock. And I was sitting down. I was getting my favorite bowl of ice cream, the salty caramel crunch. And I was going to sit down and watch my show. When I sit down, I look up, I'm like, there's a huge moth.
How big are we talking? The size of a dime, the size
dramatics. I'm going to say the size of a crow. I just want you to know.
Well, never mind Georgia. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, in my mind, they're the size of a crow. Okay. But it was big.
Well, the first year that we moved in here, we Georgia is known for critters. You cannot go in my backyard without seeing it's like National Geographic. I always say it's there's hawks and there's frogs.
Please don't bore our listeners with your bird nerd stories.
I am a bird nerd. I've turned into a bird nerd, and I'm sorry. I am not sorry about that. There's so many nice birds down here. I can't believe.
I know. I'm on FaceTime and talking about birds. I'm I don't care about your birds.
There is an app called Merlin Bird ID, and it's amazing. And I know you don't like birds, but a lot of people do on the show listening.
Yeah.
You put this app out and it'll tell you how many, based on the sounds, what different types of birds in your backyard. In Georgia, I've got up to 12 different species.
Get a grip.
Back to the moth. With the first year I moved here, there was a moth, Keith. I'm not kidding. It is the size of like not quite a football, but it was like bigger than a baseball. It was huge. I've
Yeah.
never freaked out more in my life. And it, like Eric and his mom were like, it's like amazing. And I was like, oh my God, dying. It was
Yeah.
that's big. That's like a crow.
But one time I wish I wasn't so scared of bugs is when I sat down to watch my Bravo show with my bowl of ice cream and see the moth and freak out because I'm single and living by myself now. So I'm like run upstairs to my bedroom. They're cut to me at 9:30 at night eating ice cream in bed with Carl. And I just shut
Because
my
you didn't
door.
want to get them off.
I didn't know what to do. I was scared. So then I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, I know. I could get the step stool and my Dyson and I could suck that thing right up because it was high. I've got big vaulted ceilings in my living room. So then I go downstairs, I got my step stool, my vacuum, and then I look, I'm like, it's
It's
gone.
gone.
Like, where is it? So I ran back upstairs and closed my door and put a towel under the door so it didn't come in my room.
Oh, Keith, you
Do
shouldn't be
you
scared of a
remember?
moth. Moths don't scare me, actually. That big one did, but, like,
Oh, well, yeah,
normally,
you
anything
just
else.
told a story when a moth scared you.
But it was the size of a football. It was, like, next level, like, freak moth.
Do you remember, when we were kids and we would get a whole ton of army worms?
Yes, I
Remember?
do
And, like,
remember that.
they would cause car accidents. These army worms, caterpillars, would cover the road. It looks like the road was moving. It would look like trees are moving. They'd be in the road.
They were
But
climbing up the side of your house, like, your house would be blue, and I remember it was
covered.
my brother was little, and I remember looking at we were, like, collecting them in buckets when we were kids,
Ugh.
and one
And
time
then
we were
all sorry.
oh, I was just gonna say, like, we had these buckets, and my brother was, like, I don't know, 1.5, and you know how kids put everything in their mouth. I remember my mom vividly looking over, and he had, like, an army worm drink dangling out of his mouth, and my mom freaking out, but yeah, I do remember that.
And
Spooky,
then
spooky people.
And then all those army worms turned into moths. And remember, like outside of Mike's Mart and those stores, anything with lights, it would just be covered with moth. So
Yes, I
many
do.
moths. So
Yeah.
gross. So our last episode we did talk about some cosmetic surgeries and stuff. And I thought Khloe Kardashian won the internet this week. Somebody had commented on a photo from her from 15 years ago and a photo from now. And they commented, oh my God, she looks so different. I can't believe like she had a head transplant and all this stuff. Chloe's response on Twitter. I take this as a great compliment. First off, I think these photos are about 15 years apart, but here's a list of things that I've done. I've been very open in the past about what I've done, so here we go. Nose job, laser hair for the hairline and anywhere else, Botox and Sculptra, where my face tumor was removed in my cheek, soft wave laser for skin tightening, filler in the past, but not anymore. The last few years, I hear it never goes away, so I'm sure it's still there, but calm down. I lost 80 pounds over the years, collagen, baby threads underneath my chin and neck, salmon, sperm facials, regular facials, peptides, vitamins, and daily skin care. In 2025, there are many things we can do before surgery, she says. But I mean, that was a lot of surgery too.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that celebrities are all disclosing all of a sudden all the things that they've had, but you know what? Good for them, and people are probably interested, right? I think it's important. So I think it's good that all these celebrities are disclosing these things because really, I mean, it's for a lot of people, it's unattainable, right? At least they're being honest about what they've had done and it's not natural. And people don't
Yeah.
look like this when they wake up in the morning. And
Yeah, and I think
yeah,
it's good for them to normalize it a bit. And also so the young girls don't see that as achievable and normal. I love that
right.
Chloe listed all of that. And I think it's important that like, moms do let their daughters know, like, I wasn't born with this nose. But when I was 16, I got a nose job for or you know what so the daughter's not like, why can't I have a perfect nose like my mom? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think social media is just so hard for kids now and like especially with filters and all the things, right? So I think it is good to be honest about it.
Well, we're bringing back a new segment. The Hills Have Guys. Kristen Cavallari's impressive roster was so impressive and so well liked by the listeners that we're bringing back a new game. Now, Kristen Cavallari hasn't slept with that many people this week, that she has a whole new roster. This time, we're analyzing another celebrity, John Mayer, in a game we call John Mayer You's a playa. Say it, Glory.
I'm not.
Just say it.
No, let's
John
move on.
Mayer,
John
you's a
Mayer, you're a
playa.
player. Yeah.
So John Mayer has over the 2000s has had his run through Hollywood, some of the Hollywood A-list stars. He started, of course, in 2002 with Jennifer Love Hewitt. Wrote the song "My Body, Your Body Is a Wonderland" about Jennifer
Mhm.
Love Hewitt, rumored to be about. Then he moved on, and you could see him move up the ranks of these
Yeah,
Hollywood
he was just
girls.
sort of getting discovered then. I remember that album.
And this was 2002, like Jennifer Love Hewitt, J-Love, she was like kind
She
of
was
big.
huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
But then in 2006, 2007, he moved up to Jessica Simpson.
Mhm.
Now, this turned into quite a controversy because in 2010, in an interview with Playboy, he described her having sex with Jessica Simpson was like crack cocaine, sexual napalm.
Napalm. I remember this. Yeah.
I mean, I think everybody does. I mean, good for her. It's like, I think that's a pretty not a bad rumor to be
But if you
said
read
about
her book, she talks about that relationship and how, like, toxic it was, and she kept going back, and he was like, that narcissist that kept stringing her along, I guess, but anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and
Mhm.
that comment did not help his case with her at all.
No.
The next one is, a really interesting book I read, Minka Kelly.
Mhm.
She was on Friday
Yeah.
Night Lights, and in 2007, 2008, they dated. She has an amazing celebrity memoir.
Hmm.
So good. She's had a crazy childhood, and I mean, she dates all the athletes, like, she's really pretty. It was such a good read. So Minka Kelly for a brief time, and then he moved on to the GOAT, Jennifer Aniston, from 2008 to 2009.
Jennifer Aniston and John Mayer dated?
Yeah, public, like, she brought him to the Golden Globes and the Oscars.
Oh, I guess I vaguely remember that. Wow.
Um, and, so Mayer praised her in all interviews and regrets that it didn't last. Now, it's then he gets to the kind of epitome of where he goes from Jennifer Aniston in 2008, 2009 to Taylor Swift,
What?
which is a weird departure.
I don't remember that
Their
either.
short-lived relationship inspired the Taylor Swift song "Dear John." Mayer
Mm.
admitted it was a really lousy thing for her to do. Later, he appeared to address it in his own song "Paper Doll." Now, I'm not really down with that because I just find the age difference is like he was a little bit old for her, I find.
I think when you're a musician and an artist, maybe they connected. You don't know. I don't know.
Okay, and then he went to someone that I consider my newest celebrity pet peeve,
Katy
for
Perry is who you're
for
gonna say.
3 years,
Yeah.
Katy
Mhm.
Perry. And he confirmed, like, "Still Feel Like Your Man." That song was about, Katy Perry. Katy Perry now, of course, like, going to space, all that stuff, like, she's not had the best little run with the media, but do you see these things on TikTok where it's like, the Kristen Wiig Saturday Night Live thing where she's got the little hands, she's like, "And
Yes.
I'm Brenda."
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they
I'm
do this.
Janice or whatever it is, or
Yes,
I'm
that's her
Janice.
name.
Janice, I think, or Janice or something.
So they do this and they'll show like Beyonce looking good, like I'm Brenda,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
they
yeah.
show all those, and then they'll show Katy Perry with like these short bed. They're like, I'm Jen, and she's doing these ugly dad stuff. It's so funny.
It's such a funny skit.
Um,
I heard just that recently that her and Orlando Bloom have broken up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
before the Jeff Bezos wedding.
Yeah.
Which okay, now this Jeff Bezos wedding, they said Tom Brady was there, and they said he was supposedly there with Sydney Sweeney.
I haven't
Now,
really they're together, or they
no, supposedly Sydney Sweeney has an Amazon movie coming out, and that's why she got invited to the wedding. But then Tom Brady was seen off the coast of Ibiza on Kate Hudson's yacht with Kate Hudson, her husband, couple kids and stuff, and Dakota Johnson. So I'm
Hmm,
wondering, I
that'd be a
think that
that'd be a good
Dakota Johnson has won me over lately in her interviews and like her press.
yeah, I
She's
like
so
her
funny.
too. Yeah, I like her.
And I mean
Um,
her dad, come on.
can we talk about the Bezos wedding though? Like, So, first of all the protests. So, they went to Venice. Everyone knows. I'm sure if you guys haven't seen this, you've been living under a rock. They all went to Venice. I think it was a weekend affair. All the A-list celebs were there. The quotes on the wedding, well, I think they said it was around $50 million that they spent on this wedding. I've since heard, I don't know that that's true. It's probably a little less than that, but I'm sure it's not
I
that
think the
much
thing
less.
with these rich people is, we're still talking about this wedding. So, I mean, they get a lot of that stuff for free, unfortunately, because the companies want to be mentioned in the Bezos wedding.
Well, what they said was they don't want gifts. They're actually going to do a donation to the infrastructure of Venice to help kind of like I guess the city is needs
Sinking.
some work. Yeah, it's sinking. So they did, that was their donation, which I think is kind of interesting. But I actually, you know what? People want to hate. He's rich. Like,
Let him, and he does
yeah,
give back.
he does give back. I
Not
worked
as
for
much as his
Amazon.
ex-wife.
His ex-wife didn't do too. Yeah, his ex-wife has given back a lot, but
Yeah. And I
he
find same with Melinda Gates gives more than Bill. Like, I'm like, oh, I'll give their money away.
But Bezos does give. I worked for Amazon. I've seen
Yeah.
what he does for even like if you
Yeah.
are a worker in warehouse, you can get free education. Like there's a lot of stuff the company does as a whole that does give back. So, but they're rich. Go live a lavish
Spend
life.
your
I thought
money.
her dress was really modest and gorgeous. Usually she's got the boobs out and all that. I thought
Mhm.
Dolce& and Gabbana designed it. It was like old school, Italian, they all have to get in the little Venice boats and get onto the thing and go.
I don't think Lauren Sanchez, hot take here. I don't think Lauren Sanchez is that pretty. I think she looks like, and this is coming from me, she looks too fake.
Too done. Yeah, too
Yeah.
overdone. Yeah. I mean,
But I mean, do you, Lauren?
do you? Yeah.
I'm
Do you?
sorry,
Apparently
Lauren,
it's
if you're
really nice.
listening.
She's also like she's a helicopter pilot. She's kind of an interesting. She used to be like a
Extra
extra
TV.
news anchor or whatever. I don't know. Why hate? I
Yeah.
think hate just comes from jealousy. You do you. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to wrap up this. John Mayer,
All
he
right.
was a player.
All right.
So just rumored flings, of course, Cameron Diaz, Kim K, Miley Cyrus, Renee Zellweger. Um,
Kim
it,
K.
why? They were spotted out in New York together.
Hmm.
Now, this was back in the
Miley
day.
Cyrus. I
Now,
could see that.
of course, from Vanderpump Rules star Sheena Shea came out and claimed a
I
fling
saw
that she
that.
had with John
Mhm.
Mayer. And then Kiernan Shipka is someone who he's been kind of talking to, seen with recently. The actress, they've been spotted like in multiple restaurants. She's very young, but like rolls with an older actor crowd. So I
What's
don't
her name?
really know. Kieran Shipka.
I don't know.
She's so now, John Mayer, of course, is a changed man. He emphasized that he avoids seeking validation from social media and stepped away from the party celebrity scene. Um, Now, in a 2024 episode of Call Her Daddy, he said dating is no longer a codified activity for me. He quit drinking like 6 years ago, so he doesn't have the liquid courage. He just has dry courage. Um, so I mean, he's just saying like I think he got such a bad rep, he had no choice but to kinda lay off a bit. I mean, there were jokes about him forever. Now, I
Yeah.
know there's a lot of talk of him and Andy Cohen, they're best friends,
Yeah.
and there's always rumors about them, which kind of bothers me because, um, straight men and gay men can be best friends,
Mhm.
and, so I think that's important to
It's an
say.
interesting what's it yeah, I wonder why those 2 gravitated. Like, they're best friends, apparently. They hang out all the time.
Yeah, well, I know, the love of music brought them together,
Mm.
and the Grateful Dead specifically, and
Mm.
when Jerry Garcia passed and they started Dead& and Company and John Mayer became the guitarist, then I think that became even more because Andy you've seen Andy at remember the video of him? Like, he's a huge Deadhead since he was a
Mm.
teenager,
I didn't know.
and, yeah, there's always videos of him, like, dancing at a Grateful Dead concert, but I mean, it's not the most attractive dance I've ever seen.
He's not a good dancer.
No, and like a big tie-dye, big clothes, like, I was just like, "Oh, Andy." So last week, we, had to talk about the airport stuff and, of course, the turkey tune-ups. This week, we're taking a little bit of a different turn where, we're having one of our friends, Tasha Swiderski, on to talk about her journey.
Yeah. So next up, we have my good friend Tasha, our good friend Tasha. I haven't seen her in a long time, who's going to talk to us about her cancer journey and a lot of the wellness routines that she's doing to maintain health and wellness. I think that's an incredibly important thing.
So
So
good.
yeah.
Yeah, Tasha's coming up. We just want to take this time to remind our listeners to download the episodes on all platforms. Downloads is what brings the charts. And to follow us on all our socials. There's the Pop a Cart challenge has come to an end. We will be bringing the top 3 and getting our listeners to vote on it. So we're just going through all the entries now.
Okay, we have such a special guest today. It is my dear friend Tasha Swiderski. Tasha and I have been friends like how many years have we been friends? Like literally 25-ish years, which now we're aging ourselves again. Tasha and I met bartending way back in like I think we were barely 20 years old, right? Yeah, we were like fast friends. I loved her instantly. I think one of my things about you, Tasha, that I love is just you have always had this like positive, happy, laugh, cheerful, go with the flow, easy going. Like I think that's why you and I really connected. We've never no drama. Like you've just always been such a cool, fun, easygoing girl.
And I thought it was interesting that we both have the same song. I was like, every time I hear this song, it reminds me of Tasha
Yeah,
from
do you know what
years
it is,
ago.
Tasha?
What's
Go
that?
ahead, Keith. I
My
think the same.
Humps
Oh,
by the Black Eyed Peas. Do you remember one night we went to one of your friends' concerts, Amy someone,
oh yes, Amy
at
Thiessen. Yes.
at Mount Royal, and then we were driving around with that Dan or Hayden, whatever, and we were listening to that song over and over and over. It just reminds me of
Uh-huh.
you.
Yeah, me too. And you were like, check it out.
Isn't that funny? 20 years later, and we have the exact same song. So
I love it.
That's awesome.
So we are going to get into it. And unless Tasha, you have anything else to add? I mean, the bar days. I mean, we were so young. It was a time. It was a vibe. And that's how you met your husband. I mean, like it's all
and
crazy.
I think you were there for all of that, Glory.
Yes,
I was. I was your.
we
Go
were
ahead.
a good duo, us working together. And you saying that about me being positive, I loved like you. I think we both had a really good cackle. So you knew that Gloria and
I have a cackle. Yeah.
when the cackle comes out.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. Like that's how I feel about you is that you were just always so positive, just out there being happy and like just there's zero negativity. It was just all about having fun and enjoying life. And it was just so great. I think everybody from Thunder Bay is like that. Like everybody I've met along the way. You
Not
guys-
everybody, but
Yeah, I was
most
gonna say, I've got a list of people that aren't. Just kidding.
just kidding, Thunder Bay. But what I was going to say is, we made some money back then. Like Tash and I knew how to work a bar. Let me tell you. Yeah.
No, it didn't matter what bar. It was the slowest bar.
No matter
We
what
made
bar,
the
they'd
biggest
even
bar.
put us upstairs. I remember us upstairs one night, and we'd be like, "We did better than the rest of this whole club." Yeah.
I
If you know, you
remember
know.
that one too.
Yes. Anyway, enough about that. So the
And
reason Tasha's,
one more thing I want to touch upon is her wedding, because I mean that was one of
yeah.
Glory was, of course, the MC, but that was one of the first times. Now I think they're all over TikTok where people sit the wedding down and the big reveal. Like I'd never even heard of it before until your guys' wedding.
Yeah, tell the story, Tasha. That was such a cool reveal.
Yes, so we were actually married 9 months before the wedding, and so we decided we went down to Mexico. My dad lived in Mexico. He wanted to ask for my dad's permission for my hand in marriage. Wednesday, we decided let's get married on Friday, and we thought that you could do that in Mexico, and so fine. So we went, to ask if we could book a wedding, and they're like, okay, well, you need to go to the Mexican consulate in Canada, and you have to get blood work, and you have to get all these things. And I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like Vegas, but I guess it's not. So I guess we're not getting married. And it was just, honestly, it was so casual. Rob and I were so casual. And so I went to my dad. I'm like, oh, I guess we can't get married. And he's like, well, do you guys want to get married? And I was like, well, yeah, we wanted to on Friday. And he's like, okay. So he happened to know the mayor of Puerto Vallarta. It was a really good friend of his. And so he did his
Oh,
things, and we got married on Friday the 13th. It was this very special date for us, and kept it a secret. Came back up to Canada, didn't tell. Rob got to tell one person because my dad knew, so he told his sister, and that was it. And then for the 9 months with planning, this was our wedding ring. We would put it onto the other finger, and we would like take pictures in front of people. And so when we had the big reveal at the wedding, it was that friend song, and it was just like pictures of people, everyone that was invited to the wedding, and it was everyone that got punked, and it was like showing that we
It's
were
like a
married.
slideshow of these things, and they're in the background looking at their and nobody knew. Like, I
yeah.
was in a so like, it was crazy. I was like, "You guys, only you 2," and I wouldn't put it past you. But your mom didn't even know, I think, right, Tasha? Like,
Like, we
yeah.
had our marriage certificates because they obviously weren't real for this wedding, and it was our best man and our maid of honor, and they were signing it, and it was a paper saying, "Ha ha, you fools! You should always read the fine print. What you're about to sign is that you've agreed to clean our house for the next 5 years."
I love it.
That's
I love
awesome.
it. Cool. Well, the reason Tasha is here today is she's actually got a really incredible story. She has recently gone through a bit of a cancer bout, and I will let her tell all the things. But I just thought it was super inspirational, and I think you will inspire other people. And we just wanted to thank you for sharing your story first and foremost, because it's vulnerability and you're putting it out there for the world. But I think it's really important for people to hear your story. And I know you've done some holistic healing. You've got some really cool things that you're doing now around health and wellness. And I think our listeners would really appreciate just listening to your story and what you're doing now and anything you can suggest around the wellness space. So over to you. Do you want to just kind of start maybe from the beginning and talk
Sure.
things?
So
Yeah.
first of all, I just want to say thank you for inviting me. I really appreciate it, and I feel honored. And so my journey, I've been a cancer patient longer than I haven't. So I've been a cancer patient to Tom Baker since year 2000. So 25 years. So I got breast implants when I was 20, and then I noticed a lump right away. Went back to my plastic surgeon. He said that it was just my rib cage. Loved good news. I was like, cool beans, kept carrying on. It kept growing. And so I ended up going to my family doctor just for another appointment. I said, hey, can you take a feel? And he felt it. He's like, oh, this isn't your rib. And so after lots of biopsies, got diagnosed. It was a really rare, it's called desmoid tumor. It's in the sarcoma family. Not quite considered cancer just because it can't metastasize, like jump from your head to your toe, but it can spread. And it was really rare where it was growing. It's typically in your arm or your leg. And unfortunately, with desmoid tumors, they actually just amputate your arm and leg when you have it there. But mine was in an area where it was in my ribs, my breast, my chest, liver, and lung. So you can't really amputate that. So it was a really aggressive treatment. It was going to be chemo, radiation, and surgery. And they've never done this surgery before. It was taking out my breast, my chest wall, 2 of my ribs, 2% of my liver, and 2% of my lung. And it was a 50% chance it would grow back. So
Wow.
obviously didn't sound
50?
50, 50. So I knew already I was really going with my intuition and with God because I knew that wasn't the right answer. I already knew that when I had surgery for my breast implants, I grew. I already knew I had 3 biopsies in the meantime, and it grew from 3 centimeters to 10 centimeters in weeks. So I knew surgery wasn't the answer. And
And
so
Tasha, how long ago was this? Just sorry.
2001 at this point.
Okay, that was
So
way
this
back
is
then.
before
Okay.
we met you.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Wow.
don't
Okay.
think I was aware of that at the time.
Yeah. And so back then, I mean, we had internet, but it's nothing like right now. And so I
Right.
started calling clinics. So Mayo Clinic, like I was in New
Mhm.
York, California, Toronto, Vancouver. I called everywhere and they said, good luck. I don't know what to do with you. I've never heard of it before being in the chest wall. So I ended up, good friend of mine, Megan, she's like, I heard Cross Cancer and Edmonton's a really good cancer clinic. Cause I actually booked my chemo treatment in Calgary. I was like, okay, this is, cause they were calling me. They're saying, you're going to die. Like, you need to do something. This is really aggressive. I ended up going to Cross Cancer in Edmonton, and he said, listen, I'm going to do something where no one's ever done. If it doesn't work, you're in a lot of trouble. You'll be a hot mess. And so we chose to do a really heavy dose of radiation. So it's 6 weeks of radiation. I was on tamoxifen. They told me I couldn't have kids. And they just said it was really risky. On the side of things, I was doing holistic things. And back in the day, I was quite nervous to let the doctors know because it was kind of frowned upon to be doing holistic treatment. So I was actually doing a Rife machine on the side.
What's a
And
Rife machine?
a Rife machine works on frequencies. And so it's
Like laser
basically like
therapy?
it's frequency therapy. Yeah. And so they would just hook me up to this machine and it was just working on my frequencies and ended up shrinking down to a millimeter. I married, have 3 kids. They're healthy. So I defied the odds and carried on with life. And then in 2011, my breast implant ruptured.
Wow.
And yeah, I was breastfeeding Sebastian and I was putting him down in the crib. I was like, oh, wow, my boob looks really big. And I was like, oh, no, this boob does not look big. And so it actually
Wow.
ruptured. And because I was breastfeeding, I couldn't do surgery for 6 months because I could have got mastitis from breastfeeding.
Mastitis, right. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I wasn't thinking, I ended up taking them out. I put new implants in. I just thought, why not? And then a couple years later, my desmoid came back. So it grew, but this time it was in a good place. It was 10 centimeters, but it was wrapped around my rib. So it was kind of tucked in there and it wasn't invading any organs. So we're like, you know what? Let's just watch this. And I was like, awesome. So I was going for scans every 6 months because it was so big and we knew what happened last time. And it was in the same area. And I was kind of all out of ideas from them medically because I hit myself with so much radiation in that area that I can no longer do radiation in the area.
Oh.
So then fast forward to 2021, I was doing so great. Images were looking awesome. They're like, you know what? I think that you can retire. Like you can move on. We don't need to see you as much as we do. I'm like, that's amazing. And then that was May 2021. October 2021, I felt a lump. I went back in and they said, you know what? We're just going to call this a desmoid. Let's just call it a desmoid. Let's not touch it because we know what happens when we poke it. And I was okay with that. And then we kind of had a plan at that point because in 2021, they discovered that we could do cryoablation. And cryoablation is a therapy where they freeze the tumor. And it was quite new, the treatment. And so at that time, they said the max they could cryo it at was at 2 centimeters. So I was really nervous because I was tipping on that scale of being 2 centimeters all the time. And then it doubled and went to 4 centimeters. So now I'm scared. So I said, okay, I think we need to biopsy this because now I don't even think I have any options at this point. And then they biopsied it and it came back as triple negative breast cancer. Wow. And when it came back as triple negative breast cancer, they were very surprised. They're like, listen, you've had this grade 3 triple negative breast cancer. It is a very aggressive cancer and it's been in your body that we know of for 2 years. And that's unheard of. Like it's very rare that it would just stay there and not metastasize.
So for those that don't like medically, what does that mean? Tasha, just kind of dumb it down. Yeah, dumb it down for us. Like a triple
triple negative breast cancer. So in the breast cancer world, it's talking about hormones. So triple negative, it means that so your ER, that's estrogen negative, progesterone negative, and HER2 negative. So meaning there's no therapies that can treat it. Basically, there's not a lot of therapies. Whereas if I was estrogen positive, I could take something like, as an example, tamoxifen. That would help that cancer. So as a triple negative cancer, there's just not that many options for you. So you're kind of limited.
And sorry, when you said it didn't metastasize, what was the word?
That means metastasize.
It's not able to spread. Okay.
Yeah, and they were really quite surprised because to have that aggressive cancer in your body for 2 years and it not spreading, to like say your brain or your lymph nodes, they were quite surprised. And so I had a surgeon here in Calgary. He's like, I think that you might have a desmoid wrapped around this cancer. And that scared me because I was like, oh, in my mind, my first thought was, let's do surgery. Let's get it out, right? Let's get going. Yeah. But then I got nervous. I was like, well, now that I have this desmoid. So it was like I was going to face one problem, which was remove the cancer. And then I'd be facing the second problem, which was dealing with that desmoid. And I had not a lot of options left for that because they think I got breast cancer because of the heavy dose of radiation that I got 25 years ago. So
really?
So that's what they were thinking, why I got this cancer.
So
Have they
one thing I've noticed, and I know your story develops a lot more in this way, but even back in 2001, you were kind of taking a chance with these new treatments, right?
I
You were always kind of educating yourself about what to do next, I think, which is probably your biggest ally in all of this.
and you know what, Keith, that's so true. Like one thing that really stuck with me, my dad's always been holistic. Like he's takes a bazillion vitamins my whole life. He's always been like that. But the one thing that stuck with me with my dad, I mean, I took a Flintstone vitamin back in the day. Like I thought that was good enough. He told me, he's like, with this tumor, he's like, stop drinking aspartame. Stop taking anything that's fake sugar because that's going to make your cancer grow. That was 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Like no one knew about sugar or aspartame or anything like that. Like that was, he's the only person that ever said that to me, but it stuck with me. And I was like,
And
okay,
now they've come out and said it's what is it, like arsenic and like, I
yeah.
mean, I'm not shocked, but
So
I
yeah.
mean, it might be my bloodline as well, aspartame.
I
Which is-
know. Hook him up to Diet Pepsi. Like he's
love a fake sugar, so I might need to reevaluate that.
yeah, so it's just kind of like just a little, and my dad, like he's the one that introduced me to the Rife machine. Like he's just always been holistic. So I kind of always had that with me through my
Yeah,
journey. Goodness. Um,
yeah.
yeah.
okay, so
So
cut to a couple of years ago, right? So what happened?
So this is
Yeah.
October 21 we were in, I think.
no, October 23 now, because it was 2 years later. I decided
Right.
to try out.
Okay.
You had it 2 years.
So then I was starting to look for alternatives because I was trying to avoid surgery. And then I started researching, and I researched that in the States, they were doing this treatment called cryoablation, which they would do for desmoids here in Canada. So then I asked here, I said, would you be willing to do cryoablation on the breast cancer? And they said, no, we're not comfortable with that. There's not enough studies, which is understandable, right? When you don't have a lot of studies or any kind of medical evidence backing it yet. And I was like, okay. So then I started searching, and I found one of my really good friends, her friends went down to Envita Medical Center in Scottsdale, Arizona. And so I called them immediately. I was very clear. I said, I'm not doing surgery. Is this something that you would be open to? And so I went down there, had a meeting, and they're like, yeah, they were still had to obviously tell me their thought on it. And they think that my cancer was more important to get rid of versus the desmoid. They thought deal with this first and then deal with this later. But I just couldn't see that. I couldn't get there. I've been with this desmoid for 25 years. I know how aggressive they are. Invita didn't even know what it was. Like they had to research it. They're like, I'm sorry, I've never even heard of this. So that's just how rare they are. So I didn't feel comfortable doing it that way. So then I did 12 weeks of treatment there. By the end of it, they weren't comfortable doing the cryoablation. They said, just given the size, location, and you have breast implants, we don't feel comfortable. So it was upsetting. I left. It ended up being okay because I actually found the best cryoablation surgeon in the world. He teaches everywhere. It's Dr. Holmes, and he's from California. Because I had to search in California. I was like, there's got to be a doctor that has worked with women with breast implants. Like there has to be someone.
Yeah.
So I thought, California, here we go.
Place to start.
Yeah.
And what a small world when I was awake for the procedure, and he's like, oh, you're from Calgary. And I said, yeah. And he's like, oh, I know one surgeon from Calgary. Her name's Dr. Khan. And I was like, oh, she's my surgeon. I was like, what a
Wow.
small world. He's like, well, you need to start talking to her because I'm trying to connect this procedure up in Canada. And I said, I'll be your person. So I'm really excited to share. I'll let you know right now. Anyways, they are bringing cryoablation up to Canada. Currently, they do have cancer patients at Calgary Cancer Center. And
Wow.
yes. So sorry.
That's
Nice
amazing,
work,
Tash.
Tasha.
Yeah.
You're an
Yeah.
advocate.
So next is
Wow.
low dose chemo. I'm working on that. I actually had a meeting with a health clinic here that's turning into an integrative health clinic. So yeah, I have so many things I could just go off and talk about. But anyways, sorry, that was a little bit of a sidebar. So had the cryoablation last March. Fast forward to August last year, found out that my other implant ruptured. You can believe it.
What?
I know, like I am the girl. I am like, if they say it's 1 in a million, I'm that one. I'll tell you that right now.
How did they say how they ruptured? Was it just like poor product? Is it like, obviously it was not blunt for like, I can't
They
even.
were they were what kind of breast implants were they?
First one was saline on
Yeah.
this side. And what I would have to say is, I mean, that one went through the ringer. It went through radiation, but
Yeah.
radiation 10 years before that. And then and then I was breastfeeding. So I can understand why that one.
Yeah.
This one was the silicone and
Wow.
Yeah, because that doesn't happen with silicone. I'm so surprised.
yeah. And
Shoot.
so um obviously it wasn't on the big to-do list. We were just keeping it in there just because I had so many other things going on. Had a PET scan in November. Was looking really good on a PET scan. It was still lighting up. Lighting up means you have cancer, but we were kind of skeptical, wondering if it was inflammation or more cancer. And Vita and Calgary doctors were scared it was cancer. I was not. Like, I felt really good about the PET scan. Nobody felt good about it. They had a really big meeting here in Calgary in January, like a really big meeting. It was a bunch of doctors, oncologists, my team, my surgeon, radiologist, everyone, and they came back saying, no, we feel like we need to remove this now. We do not think it's working. We need to remove this. And the fact that you have an implant that ruptured, we might as well take everything out. Took me a minute to think about it, and I was like, no, you know what? I feel like I'm in such my body, because through this, when I went to Envita, I learned so much about nutrition, um, toxins, detoxing, all these kind of cleanses, and how it can help with prevention and help during my treatment. And I felt so good at that point, like, and I still do. I was like, you know what? I think my body's ready. I think I can handle the surgery. I think that this desmoid's going to be fine. I wasn't concerned. So we ended up having the surgery. I ended up having the surgery in April. So I had an explant, a lumpectomy, and they ended up doing a partial mastectomy just because they thought that'd be the best case scenario to kind of remove
Preventative.
as much radiation spots as possible. And it came back cancer free.
Woo!
Oh,
Stop.
that's
That's
awesome.
amazing. The best news. That's
Yeah.
amazing, Tash.
So I
Like,
believe there's a time and place for everything. There's a place for holistic treatment and there's a time and place for Western.
yeah.
Totally. And I
That's
think the biggest message here is that you took this all into your own hands. You didn't just leave it up to the healthcare system.
Yeah.
You kind of did this. You were taking the experimental therapies, you were taking the chances over the last 25 years. So kudos to you on that. And you're going to help so many people with that, Tasha.
Yeah, I hope. And I have a really great radiologist here. He's super interested in it. Like, he's kind of been doing it and for a couple of years now has been interested in doing it. And so it's, my oncologist was amazing too. And it's just so great for them now medically to know that a triple negative, really aggressive cancer can come out cancer free. Like, other people can do this. Like, it's
Yeah.
obviously they're not going to start with aggressive like this. It's just, I think they're going to be starting with women that are like elderly that maybe won't withhold surgery, that they wouldn't live through surgery. So those are the patients that they would start with, kind of a thing.
that's
And I think
amazing.
your mindset has taken you far as well. You know, they say that a lot, of course, the radiations but I mean, you just have the best attitude and you're such a go-getter. Like nothing's gonna, you're gonna go do it for yourself. So I think I commend you for that. That's amazing.
That
Well, I
must
just
have been a good day in your house, huh?
really,
Like,
oh my God, I woke
yeah.
up. Oh, it was so funny from surgery. And honestly, Glory, I don't even know if my headspace would have been there 2 years ago, like, say if I had the explant and all these kind of things, right? Like, but I woke up and I looked, I was like, it's not that bad. Rob, he was like,
Deal with it. Deal with it, Rob.
so happy, right? Like, I'm healthy,
Yeah.
happy, like,
That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
that's
Yeah.
all
Health
that
is
matters.
wealth.
And you're
Yeah.
here for your family. And I think that's so important.
Mhm.
So my question is, because you did do a bunch of different therapies and you went to different clinics in the States, in Canada, and what's the difference kind of between our free healthcare system and the private care in the States?
So the biggest thing is really combining the natural holistic way with Western. So that's that integrative doctor approach. And we don't have that in Canada. Like, typically when you leave in Vita and say you're in the States, you would find an integrative doctor to take over your treatment and carry on. But with me coming back to Canada, there were no integrative doctors here. So integrative means it's a natural path that can basically prescribe medication, because naturopaths can't do that. and sometimes you need off-label drugs. Canada didn't have that. So I was unable to get any kind of off-label drugs that I needed. So Envita kept me as a patient. So they still see me. I still book appointments. I fly down there if I have to get any kind of treatments or any kind of medications. They are my people. So that's the difference. The other thing too is it's called low dose chemo and ITP. And so insulin potential insulin potential therapy is what it's called. And what that is I'm getting the same type of chemo that I would up in Canada, but they're basically putting me into diabetic coma. So they're starving the cancer before they introduce the chemo into my body. So the cancer's so hungry that it takes all the chemo and the rest of your body's not being affected by it. So your organs. Like I didn't lose my hair. Like a cancer patient that had the same chemo as me would have lost their hair.
Mm-hmm.
So just as an example to show what the outside's showing, like my hair's not falling out, that's kind of like the inside. So of course my organs still went through the ringer a little bit. So I had to kind of help myself, my body repair and my liver, and that's detoxing and all these kind of things. But it was not as aggressive as you would having like a typical chemo. Another thing that Envita does is that they go through lots of lab work, lots of testing, and they sent it off to Germany. And basically it tells you, first of all, it tells you what medications work best for me, what exact chemo works for me, like right down to the percentage of curcumin. So that's like a vitamin, how much a percentage of that's going to work for me. Aspirin, baby aspirin was the top medication for me for my tumor. So I was on baby aspirin, like all these things that we don't test for because everyone's different. It's not a one size fits all, right?
And how did they test you for that?
They just blood.
Oh,
Lots, probably 50 vials of blood.
yeah.
Yeah. And then they did a liquid biopsy on me as well. And so that lets you know if you have circulating tumors. So when I was starting on Envita, I had 3 circulating tumors and tumor cells circulating. And so they say once you hit 5, you're more than likely metastasize. So I was getting there. I was on my way to it spreading throughout my body, the cancer.
Wow.
So I know it's a mouthful, like the way how I'm explaining. And if anybody ever wants any more information, I'm an open book, like reach out to me because it's a lot of information that I'm saying. But
Yeah.
So my goal is to potentially bring that low dose chemo up to Canada.
Amazing.
And we will link Tasha's Instagram and everything, and a bunch of products that she'll mention too will be all linked underneath the episode, so anyone can get in touch
So let's
with
get
her.
to that. So now you're in a new business venture. You're focused now. Is it like inspired you to focus on nutrition and healing and all the things? So tell us about that.
Yeah, so that was a huge part. Like I realized with Envita really opened my eyes about what we're putting in on and around our bodies. And it's actually a really big deal. Like women put on over 200 chemicals a day. And I think men are close to like 100 or like 90.
I might double that. Just kidding.
How about the gay man? He might be up at 200.
Remember, I love toxins. Just kidding.
So there's some things you can't control, like, especially like, if you like your fragrance, if you like your perfume, all these kind of things. And so for me, it's just trying to protect our bodies and helping me detox, what I'm putting in on and around my body. And so I met this lady, Danielle, she's actually absolutely incredible. I met her at Envita. She's stage 4 breast cancer. She left there with, little to no cancer. And I met her on another cancer support page. And then I started following her and she kept talking about this product and every single morning starting this routine and how it's gently detoxing her body. And it's all like, I was just like, what is this stuff? Like, because I was on so many supplements, like the list went on for days and I just wanted to simplify my life. So I started talking to her, and it was the company's called Hue and Grace. And so it's a clean, hormone safe wellness brand. And it's designed to support detox. It's designed to balance your hormones, reduce inflammation, and help the body function at its best. And that's exactly what I needed. And it's for the whole family. It's not just for people that have cancer. It's for prevention. It's for especially oh my gosh, I'm going through perimenopause and it's helped me out huge. And I love
you
the
ingest
mission.
it?
Pardon?
How do you ingest it? Is it a pill or a?
So there's So it's basically, so in, on, and around your body. So I actually have everything behind me. So the in is the wellness. So that would be the morning supplement, which is, it's a vitamin. And then you have your hydrate and detox. And it's literally in the word, it's hydrates you and detoxes you. And so it has a power antioxidant, it has L-glutathione, it has a cream probiotic. And so even honestly, in the summer days, if you're drinking a lot, if you do this before you start drinking, and if you wake up in the morning, that is a nice way to help a hangover. I can tell you that right now.
Well, let me
Okay.
tell you, I've been on this now, Tasha, how long? 3, 4 months?
Yeah.
I've been buying it for, yeah, and I love it. Like, and I never get sick of the flavor, I have to say. I tried the new flavor. I actually still prefer the lemon for me, the drinks. Yeah, they're both
That's just
good, but what's
someone
that?
else said that. That's
Yeah,
so
I like them both, but the lemon's just kind of like a nice watery, like you don't get sick of it every morning, but you do feel well. It does it makes your body feel hydrated and well in the morning. So it's my go-to now.
right.
Mhm.
Like it just goes right to the brain, and you just, I did a story. I just love jumping on because like I'm just so passionate about it. It's like when you used to wake up, like, or and who cares if you still do, kind of a thing, but you like say you had a good night of drinking or whatever, you're not feeling good. For me, I wake up, if I ate something that I shouldn't have, it's like a food hangover, and it's like worse than the hangover, honestly. Like the
I
whole
know. I was saying that at work the other day. I said, now my hangovers are from eating like 3 crumble cookies that make me sick. Like I used to go out for days, and now I have a cookie hangover.
That's a thing. And
I
then like
know.
you wake up the next day and you'd be like, okay, I'm just gonna chug this Coke just to give me some energy and feel better, or whatever, your chocolate milk or coffee, whatever it is, right? Whatever. And I drink my hydrate and detox, and you don't crash after. It's like after you drink that can of Coke, you feel good for a second, and then after you're like, okay, I'm back to not feeling great. So
Yeah.
it's just like all around, you just feel amazing.
Hey, I'm gonna get some, and
Good.
we're gonna link all of the products below. Do you want to run through each of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the So that was a hydrate and detox. That's what I was just talking about. And this is good for the whole family. Honestly, if you have gut issues, inflammation, anything, it's so good. Like I can, yeah, I won't go high level or anything like that. But then collagen. And I will say, honestly, for collagen, I was iffy about wanting to take it. I wasn't sure if it was working. None of those like I just didn't know, right? And so I'm 3-4 months in, and even though I had low dose chemo and my hair didn't fall out, my hair was a wreck because of it. And now it's finally strong again, and I would give that to the collagen, hands down.
Wow.
Like, and
And I
that's
do mine together. So I do the detox, the lemon and the collagen together, and I mix it up, and it's like my morning like water on my way to work.
Wow. You both look amazing. So I guarantee this is gonna fly off the shelves.
right. Thank you. And then the triple boost. This is our protein hormone support, and this has 21 grams of protein. It is clean, lots of protein, and I didn't realize this, but leaving in Vita and just researching and everything, I didn't realize that protein powders have heavy metals in it. So you have to just really check your labels, Google it, find out if they do third-party testing, because sometimes they're going to carry heavy metals. And
Oh,
if you've ever had, I don't know if you've ever heard of the MTHFR gene, they call it the mother effer gene.
no, but it's my favorite
Some
gene
of your
now.
viewers might know. So I had the mother effer gene, and so it just means that you don't. That's, they'll know what I'm talking about, the mother effer gene. But you don't methylate well, and so you feel like crap basically. And it's in like, it's synthetic vitamins, so it's in like fortified almond milk, it's in enriched flour, so it's in like your cereals, it's in like your pita bread, all these kind of things, right? And if 50% of the people actually have the MTHFR gene, so if you haven't been genetically tested, I would just assume, honestly, you have it. Just because if you're not feeling well, you have low energy, you're bloated, achy, all these kind of things, sometimes it could be just the diet that what you're eating, and it could be the mother effer gene. And so this is really good for helping detox, and it has 21 grams of protein, and it's clean, and it's really good. We also have a skincare line, which is absolutely incredible, and everything is third-party tested. That's the huge thing, right? Cleaning products. Yeah, there's
Wow.
a night
Okay.
supplement if you have a hard time falling asleep. It's natural. It has L-theanine, it has magnesium, it has lemon balm. It's really helped me with my hot flashes because I've been put into perimenopause. So yeah, that's been very helpful. So I feel like I could talk forever, but
No, I think, yeah, I bet you our listeners are very interested.
It is interesting. And yeah, like Keith said, we'll link all like your link and so that people know where to get it. Like I'm interested, Tasha. So what are you not doing that you used to do? Like what are like you mentioned like things aren't like just holistic, like you don't have to get into everything, but you said, okay, like now we are like how many products or chemicals we're putting on our skin. Like what are the things that you've like stopped doing?
oh, for my no-nos, like the things. So I quit drinking during my cancer journey.
Mhm.
Like, but I'm gonna be honest,
What
like,
else could we do? Just
Yeah,
yeah,
as I'm drinking my red wine.
campaigning on
As I was drinking that, you were telling a story. I was like, this is probably inappropriate.
no, absolutely. I'm just saying
yeah.
that's what I chose to do. And the thing is, oh, like I stopped drinking, but I get Botox for my migraines. And in the cancer world, it's like that would be a no-no. Like you'd probably stop
Really?
doing that. Yeah. But
Oh,
for
really?
Interesting.
like you pick
Hmm.
your battles, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone, like you pick your battles. And that's why I feel like if you can be intentional with your supplements or like your cleaning products, like everyone buys cleaning products, right? So why not be intentional with it? Get stuff
Mm.
that's non-toxic, but also works. Like,
Yeah.
right? Like you could buy products and they could be clean, but if they don't work, like what's the point of buying them, right? Like these are high level products, they work. And so I feel like why not set yourself up for success with this and still have fun in life? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like if you want to
Balance.
drink, if you want to like, have that cheeseburger every once in a while, if you want to have Botox, if you want to like, I just feel like just be intentional with things that you can control.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
right?
Nobody's
I
perfect.
just I just started a new cleaning product for one. I think this is Glory's go-to for the episode. It's called Heaven on Earth. Have you heard it? It's like actually I think it's come from Canada. I think it's like anyway. I'll talk about it in another episode. But it is non-toxic. It's reusable. Like you just get instead of getting a new can, it comes in a metal can. You just get the little jar and you like refill your jar. Anyway, it's amazing.
That's
Heaven on Earth.
what
Heaven
this
on Earth.
is too. Yeah. So we have, it's the concert. Are you talking
Okay.
about?
Oh, guests on Earth. No, not Heaven on Earth. Guests on Earth.
This is ours. This is Hugh and Grace. But then
Ah, oh, I would try it. Okay, I didn't know you did that.
you're right. You're mixing your part, right? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, similar thing. Yeah.
That's
Mhm,
awesome. That
mhm.
and
If
what other products do they have? Because I'm all over it. Like if they have other things like we don't have like natural deodorant, like toothpaste. Like you can just go crazy,
I
right?
don't know what else to have. My stepmom turned me on to it, and now I'm
Oh,
obsessed.
that's
I
awesome.
just love the smell of it too. It's kind of like patchouli, earthy. I don't know. It's good.
Good.
Well, if
Anyway,
I could tell 2004 Glory and Tasha that we'd be on a podcast talking about clean, non-toxic cleaning products, I don't think you guys would believe me.
Yeah,
I love it. Love it.
I'm going to tell you right now. If I had hydrated detox back in my day when we were bartending, hello, like
We could
hello,
have
where
went
was
way
that?
harder.
Where was
that would
that?
be a crowd pleaser. I can tell you that right now.
I love it. Any other like big things that you're doing? Like I know you were doing red light therapy. You mentioned that machine. Like, can you talk a bit about that, Tash?
So this, because you were talking about you do red light therapy. So I was
Yeah,
doing so many therapies. I was doing infrared sauna. I was doing Balancer Pro. I was doing red light. So I was going to a place paying a monthly membership.
yeah,
And so I was debating, I was like, do I buy an infrared sauna? Like I was trying to figure out what am I going to purchase at my home so I don't have to
yeah.
keep paying a membership.
Right.
And Rob kept telling me about this. It's called a Beamer. He's like, we've been invited to this event. We need to just go. I'm like, okay, fine.
Say it
Like,
again. Beamer with a B.
yeah, Bemer.
Beamer. Yeah,
Yeah, Beamer.
Beamer.
I went to the event. It's a mat. I sat on it and I can't even explain how good, because I haven't
Is
been
it a red light mat? Because I've seen these, and you can do yoga on it, and you can like sleep on it. Is that
that's
the one?
PMF. That's a PMF. Yeah, this is, let me see if this is red. So this is red light.
Okay.
So this is the red light therapy. There's so many little gadgets on this thing. So this is the red light. So we have
But
red
do you
light.
lay on it? What do you, or you just put it on your body? I can't
You
see
put
it.
it
You're not
wherever
in
you
my.
want.
Okay.
And then, so that's my red light. This is the blue light, and this is for targeted pain.
Mhm.
Oh, and this is incredible.
Really? For pain?
I have pain. I
And
feel like
so
getting older.
I'm sure you do.
you just put it on wherever it hurts. So Sebastian's right now, he's playing football, and you get pushed around a lot in football, like, because he rolled his ankle. He puts that on, and he's like, "Mom, it took it away, like the pain."
Really?
Wow.
The other thing too, so the mat, because it gives you energy, so it's like it's basically increasing your microcirculation up to 30%. So it's actually funny because I'm doing so much more research about it. So when you're increasing your microcirculation up to 30%, so things like hydrate and detox, morning supplement, all these things that you're taking that are nutritious, like it just enhances it. You're enhancing all of these. So then I asked, I was like, okay, so if it's enhancing this, what if you had a drink and then you sat on it? It's like, well, it would enhance it. So just FYI, if you ever sit on a Beamer and you're drinking wine, you're gonna feel a little bit quicker.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
That was super interesting. But what the Beamer does is that it's giving you energy, it's detoxing you, it's my mood. Like, I could not believe how good I felt when I was on that machine at that
Wow.
party. And I was like, "Oh, Rob, this is it. We need to get it." Like, it was like hands down. It wasn't. There's just no question. Like Sebastian, he's in a football camp right now, and he won the award for like everything. Like, he was just, and it's his first time playing football. Most
Wow.
improved, most outgoing, most everything. Like, he was running circles around him. And he's like, "Mom, I think it was because of the Beamer." He came home and he did a 5K run after being in the sun for 6 hours playing football. Like, he was
Wow.
still ready to rock.
Hey, I'm sold. I'm checking out the Beamer. Maybe
Yeah,
Yeah.
Gloria
like
next
it's
week.
for the whole family. I sleep with it. So there's a mat in your bed. Sorry, my there's a mat in your bed. Um, I start my morning, so it's 8 minutes in the morning, 8 minutes at night. But I will tell you, that is one thing that has been a game changer in my life. So I don't have to pay the monthly membership at that other place. It has all the things that I need right
Wow.
there.
Okay. Great
Um,
tips.
Now, any other tips? Like, I know, for one, I just want to say people in the healthcare industry are saints. I mean, like people that can do that job, oncologists and everybody, like it would be so heavy on my heart and, it would be such a hard job. So all those people are so amazing. But I think the biggest takeaway is, while the healthcare industry is amazing, you need to be an advocate for yourself and you need to take your own health into your own hands. And I think you're the poster child for that, Tasha.
Yeah, thank you, Keith. And honestly, like, I will say, like, my team, and that's a huge thing, Keith. As soon as you advocate for yourself, they're going to meet you where you're at. They're always like, that's the thing. I just think that they're so used to being the doctor and being the patient. Patient comes in, says, "Fix me," like
Yeah.
it's a different relationship when you are advocating for yourself and you're coming in with information and what you want with your treatment. It's actually a
And
really different.
teaching them almost,
It
the new experimental and yeah,
I
very
actually
cool,
joke
Tasha.
about that, but my relationship with my oncologist and my team honestly is nothing but incredible. Like, they
Yeah.
are so open-minded here, because I was debating, Keith, honestly, I was like, do I tell them everything that I'm doing holistically? Do I full disclosure, because I'm doing a lot of off-label stuff? I was doing a lot of parasite cleanses, like I was on ivermectin, membezinol, you name it. I threw everything in the kitchen sink. Like, my list, when I tell you my list of my supplements and off-label drugs that I did to cure myself, it went
Yeah.
on for days. Like, I will tell you that. And I was full disclosure with them, because I'm like, if they want to help someone else and they want to mimic what I did, I don't want them to think that I just did cryoablation. I don't want them to think, right? Like, I
Yeah.
want them to know
The full
nutrition,
thing.
detoxing, all these things that I did were part of it, because I don't want them to skip it, because I think it was very important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, you're an inspiration, Tash. I'm
Yeah.
so I couldn't be happier. Cancer free is absolutely amazing. I was telling her before we started, like, she had me worried there last year. I shed a few tears. Oh my gosh. So you have a lot of people that love you from all around the world, and I'm just so happy you're healthy and thriving and inspirational. And I know you've probably helped a lot of people on this podcast. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're so
Thanks for
welcome.
sharing, Tasha. And one more exciting thing, Tasha, is of course breast friends.
Yes, breast friends. I love that Becky and I decided to do this. So a little bit about Becky. So Becky is a really, really good friend of mine. Last year, she decided, gosh, I don't think it was last year. Anyways, let's call it 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. Her and her husband sold everything, sold their house. They were moving down to Mexico. It was March. She was coming to my house to say goodbye, saying their goodbyes. And she's like, hey, Tasha, I have this lump. Do you mind feeling it? And I was like, oh, honestly, like it really didn't feel concerning because it was mobile. It was like all the things like saying it's not cancer, but I was like, you know what? Like I would get that checked out just to be safe. Like you're about to move down to Mexico. She got a biopsy, ended up coming back. We literally had the same cancer, triple negative breast cancer.
Wow.
So we had same cancer, very different journeys. And she really expressed herself and just shared her story on Instagram. And then we decided, why don't we start a Facebook Live so people can hear our journeys, and just if we could help anyone, someone, like why not, let's do this. And so that's where Breast Friends started. And so we've done 5 episodes so far. It's every Saturday 10 o'clock on Facebook, but I think we're going to be turning it into a podcast. We just love it. We love sharing and helping.
Yeah,
And
you really should.
yeah, so very excited. I'm just it really makes me feel happy. Like I really feel like I've turned my pain into purpose, and I
Yeah.
feel like I'm here to serve. Honestly, like I feel like everyone actually has a testimony. So anybody out here, if you're going through a hard time, I believe that that's your testimony. And if you can share your testimony and serve and help someone else, like why not?
I
Yeah.
totally agree. Plus one. I love that.
This has
Yeah.
been so interesting, Tasha, and I hope a lot of our listeners reach out to you. Thanks so much for coming today, and I hope everybody looks below for all the linked products, Tasha's Instagram, and of course for Breast Friends on Facebook.
Yes. So nice to see you, Tash. I miss you. Next time I'm in Calgary, you and I are going for a coffee or a tea or a detox or something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Bye,
Okay.
guys.
Okay, bye guys. Thanks for
Bye.
listening, everybody.